Today, we're going to be talking about the Robinhood Gold Card and whether you should get this card or skip on it. I've had this card for a couple months now, so I've gotten to use it a little bit. I wanted to make a video right when I got it, but I decided maybe we should use it for a few months and then kind of see how it's going. We got to get into talking about this card, especially because there's a lot of boys on here who don't even have the card yet and are talking about it. So let's talk about it from actually being able to use it. But all jokes aside, let's get into the pros and cons of this card and whether it is right for you. So first of all, it comes in this beautiful, fancy black envelope. If you know anything about some of the other premium cards, this is nothing special. But it looks like this. So it just comes in a nice envelope like this. And then it shows a QR code if you want to scan and activate the card that way. I just did it in the app, which I think is the easier way to do it. This is what the card looks like. So it is a gold colored card. It is 17 grams stainless steel. So it is a nice, heavy, fancy card that is the same weight comparable to some of the really premium cards like the Amex Platinum and the Chase Sapphire Reserve. If that matters to you, it looks pretty, it's heavy. And what you'll notice too is there's no numbers on the card. So this is a really cool safety feature that I've actually used it a few times and had people comment, like merchants, be like, oh, that's so cool. There's no numbers on the card. And I do think it's really cool. So you do go into the app and actually open your card details that way. So the app is super easy to use. I'm going to add a screen recording of me using the app to show you kind of how it works and get used to kind of the interface. But you can go on there and it requires a password or Face ID to view your card details. So even if someone obviously picks up your phone and opens the app, they can't see your card details without validating with a password or a Face ID. It is really cool that you don't actually have any numbers visible on the card. I think it's a cool safety feature. And I will start out with that being one of the pros of this card. I like how there's no numbers and no security codes on the card. To get straight into the other pros, the first one, which is the one that I think everyone is the most excited for with this card, is there is 3% cash back across the board on all categories. And this is, I think, the big selling point of the card. And what's their main line that they're trying to broadcast to everyone as far as why they should get this card. And for good reason. There is no other card right now that has 3% cash back across the board with no category or no spending limits. So this is the most attractive thing about the card. And as I go through the rest of the benefits, you'll probably see that it is pretty much the reason to get the card. It's great for anyone who is a high spender and wants to just grab up those 3% points on all categories. Also have 5% back if you book travel through the Robinhood portal. And this sounds great, but honestly, I don't use this feature. If I'm going to book travel, I just book through the Chase portal because I think it's a lot easier to use and the deals are much better. I did briefly, just for experimentation's sake, go on the Robinhood travel portal and look up flights. And I found that the flights were more expensive on the Robinhood portal. So to me, I don't really see much of a benefit of getting that 5% cash back through the portal if I'm going to pay more money for the flight. It doesn't really bode well for this being as good of a benefit as it looks like on paper. So I will just continue to book flights directly through the website, or I'll book through the Chase travel portal, which is usually what I end up doing. There's also no foreign transaction fees on this card, so if that's something that applies to you, then this is also a great benefit. I do have the Chase Freedom Unlimited, which is the first card that I kind of started using regularly, and it used to be like my kind of go-to card. That one does have foreign transaction fees, so if you travel a lot and this is something that would really help you out, no foreign transaction fees. They also have auto rental insurance, which is pretty cool, again, if you're a big traveler. So if you're grabbing a rental car, you actually don't need to pay for the insurance add-on there if you book through this card because they do have auto rental insurance. So again, that could save you a little bit of money if you're a big traveler and booking a lot of rental cars, then waiving those insurance fees, that could save up a lot of money every year. Another thing I really like is there's return protection for shopping. And of course, I love to shop, so I think this is pretty cool. So if the merchant tries to decline you returning an item, you can actually file a claim through Robinhood if you use your Robinhood Gold Card. They will cover up to $250 each incident and up to $1,000 every year for return protection coverage. So this is really awesome if you shop a lot and run into any sort of issue where a merchant doesn't want to accept your return, or maybe they're just trying to offer you a store credit and you want your money back. You do have some protection in this instance, and $250 per incident and $1,000 per year, I think that's pretty good. It's a nice little perk if you like to shop a lot. So to start out with the cons, the biggest con is there's no sign-up bonus, which Pretty much every single card has a sign-up bonus when you get a new credit card. For them to be offering no bonus, not really the best. You could pretty much get any other card and get at least a couple $100s up front if you spend a certain amount of money within a allotted time. And then, of course, this always changes. Cards will run different promos and specials. So you could get a much higher upfront sign-up bonus depending on when you get a different card. But regardless, this card has no sign-up bonus, so you're not getting anything up front for just getting the card. Another con is the APR on this card is super high, so you do not want to carry a balance. And I think this is also part of how they're probably making money on this card because the APR is so high. Anyone who's holding a balance, they are collecting so much cash off of them. So the big thing is you cannot hold a balance if you want this card. Right now, the APR is 22 to 30%. And this is higher than most other cards. There's no zero intro APR. So a lot of new cards will have 0% APR for an introductory period, usually about 12 months. So that can be great. And there's no zero intro rate for APR. There's not even a reduced intro rate for APR, and it's 22 to 30%. So you obviously can do the math on that very quickly. You do not want to hold any sort of balance. You have to pay the card off in full if you want to use this card and actually have it benefit you. Another thing that's kind of snuck into the fine print is the card replacement fee is $40. Yeah, $40. So if you lose your card, you will have to pay that fee. And I think that is just kind of ridiculous. I think they're hoping that most people don't notice this, or they don't read all of the fine print and everything that says that the card replacement fee is $40. Other premium cards, pretty much every card actually has a $0 replacement fee. I've lost my Freedom Unlimited card at least 2 or 3 times over the past several years. Always got a new card, no problem. I believe even the premium cards like the Chase, Sapphire Reserve, and the Amex Platinum don't have any card replacement fee. So this seems a little sneaky. I think they're hoping people don't notice, and then once they lose their card, then they're going to be collecting all of those card replacement fees. So you can't lose your card if you want this to actually work out for you either. So if you're someone who loses your card a lot, don't get this. Get into the annual fee. So this card is marketed as a $0 annual fee card, which makes it seem like a no-brainer, especially for 3x points on everything and $0 annual fee. If you read those two things up front, you'd be like, why would I not get this card, right? Which I think is what they want people to see. But you do have to be a Robinhood Gold member in order to have this card. And Robinhood Gold costs $50 a year or $5 a month. So the card does have an annual fee. It's just not directly associated with the card. It's associated with having a Robinhood Gold membership, which also comes with other features and benefits. So marketing it as a $0 annual fee card is kind of sneaky, and I don't really appreciate that more on an ethics standpoint. Just because obviously they know what they're doing. They're saying it's a $0 annual fee. It's not really. So the annual fee will cost you anywhere between $50 and $60 a year, depending on if you pay monthly or if you pay the fee just one time annually upfront. So for me personally, I was already a Robinhood Gold member when I saw the card was coming out. So to me, it kind of was a no-brainer because I was already paying for Robinhood Gold service and I already determined that was worth it for me in my situation. So to me, it felt like a $0 annual fee to get the card and felt like a no-brainer. But if you would be getting Robinhood Gold and signing up for that just to get the card, then I would think twice about if you want to do that and if that really is going to be worth it in your own personal situation before you spend the $50 to $60 a year for the gold membership just to get the gold card. Sorry, my dog is in the background kind of trying to steal the show. So anyway, if you're already a Robinhood Gold member, then I would say this card kind of is a no-brainer, but I wouldn't automatically jump to buying the membership without looking through the other benefits and thinking about if it's right for you just to get the card, because then you are paying an annual fee for this card, and it really only works out if you're kind of a high spender and you do not carry a balance and do not let yourself get out of control with your spending. So I would say this card is great for people who are already Robinhood Gold members, are high spenders, do not carry a balance, and really want to prioritize using rewards points for cashback or investing purposes. And you'll see this a little bit more in the screen recording, which I will insert, but I'll show you how the rewards platform looks. They have kind of a unique setup. You can unlock mystery boxes, you can redeem for a statement credit, you can redeem to update your card, and they do have a rose gold card that's really pretty that, of course, I want to get because it's pink, but I don't think I'm going to waste my points on that because it does feel kind of silly. But I will admit, I was tempted by it. And you can also just redeem straight to your Robinhood account through cashback. So here's a quick look at what the app actually looks like. It is really nice and super easy to use. So right when you pull it up, it'll show your balance at the top and your credit usage, which is really nice. And then there's that view card details, and it will ask for a password or a Face ID to open that. Scrolling over to the rewards tab, here is what the different rewards looks like. So you can see there's lots of different options for how you can actually redeem. Cashback, statement credits, flights, hotels, Amazon. There's the rose gold card that I still kind of want to get. There's the travel portal at the bottom, and then there's that 3% cash back. The mystery box feature is kind of fun to just take a gamble and see if you can win something greater than the value of your points. The statement credit is also a great way to redeem to just go towards paying off your balance. But as you can see, when you redeem for a cash back, you actually get more value for your points. So I would go ahead and just redeem cash back, and I would not bother with actually doing the statement credit because you're getting less for your points. This next one is one of the coolest features that I actually think I forgot to mention, the virtual cards. So you can easily add a virtual card in the app for many different reasons. You can do the standard, and then there's a couple different types. The free trial card if you want to start something for free and not have it charge you. Then there's a single use card, which is really cool. So it just makes it so you can only use the card once. Now, I do want to say a little bit about Robinhood as a whole because it does pertain to this card because they are tied together. Now, do with this information what you will, but in my opinion, I think Robinhood does kind of prey on people who maybe don't have as much financial knowledge or financial literacy, and they get people to come onto their platform to kind of like day trade or do quick trades or buy and sell stocks, even if they're not doing it every day, but just kind of buying and selling for turning a quick profit. And we all know that by doing that, you can lose a lot of money and you can get into essentially gambling. And I think their platform can sometimes be too user-friendly where it really does encourage you to kind of like make quick trades, buy options, buy calls, and most people, that is going to net them in the negative. So having a credit card that kind of motivates people to get cash back to put into their Robinhood account could just be fueling people to spend more money on the gold card to then put that money into their Robinhood account to then spend more money on the Robinhood platform trading stocks that might not actually net them positive in the long run over time. Just something to think about. Personally, I really like the feature how you can just redeem for cash back and deposit it straight into your Robinhood account and use those rewards for that purpose. And if you're doing that to cash them straight to your Robinhood account and then buying stable ETFs and leaving it there for long-term growth, then I think this is a great strategy. And that's kind of what I've been doing. I really do like the fact that I can just redeem the cash straight to my account and then just go buy stocks with it. I think it's pretty cool to use the reward points to invest. But again, it's because I have kind of a simple investing strategy. I pretty much only buy ETFs and only a few individual stocks. Buy things that are pretty much only for long-term growth and nothing really short-term. So for me, it's been working out, and that's what I suggest you do if you want to get this card and really leverage the benefits correctly. But I do think it is easy to get stuck in a trap with this card by either carrying a balance or transferring your cash into Robinhood and then doing day trading or buying options. And, you might end up just losing money if you're not really doing like a long, steady investment strategy. So that is my overall review of the Robinhood Gold Card after having it and using it for a few months. I can make an update video if my opinions change in time, but at least right now, I would overall recommend this card to most people, but not everyone. If you're kind of a big spender, a responsible spender, and want to prioritize using your rewards for investments and stable investments to build your long-term wealth, then this is the card for you. You can click here to watch some of my other videos I've made about side hustles, because I love to talk about building your own income in addition to being an employee to help build your financial freedom.